What's going on, people? Today we're going to talk about the recession is unlocked, what we can learn from Argentina, and strategies and things that you perhaps maybe you've got time to prepare. Maybe you've got time to get your stuff together. But the recession is definitely on lock. The recession is happening. And, you know, there are so many people like, let's talk about the stock market. Last week was just a warm up. It's going to keep doing that. It's going to keep doing that. Many meltdowns usually take quite a while, and this is just the beginning. The prop up that the stimulus package, because see, we're going to talk about the real problem, the real issue. Spending is slowing down. We had the NBA cancel the season. I did a live stream about Airbnb yesterday. Airbnb is taking a serious hit. I mean, everything on Airbnb is on for sale because people are not traveling. Airlines, planes are like half empty, or there's only a few people on flights. All of this is an economic slowdown. People are not traveling. They're not going to NBA games. I went to a restaurant last night that normally on a Saturday night is packed. It was half empty. It was half empty. So what is happening is people are staying home and people are keeping their wallets closed. This is the absolute worst thing that can happen to a consumer based economy such as ours. So the economic slowdown is in effect. I was watching this video by this drop shipper who was kind of freaking out because a lot of these drop shippers, a lot of their suppliers are shut down. What's up, people? What's up? No, it's not a drill. People getting laid off. Lewis Ward, I said 2 years ago, I had these recession talks 2 years ago, and that was a wake up call to prepare yourself because you probably have 4 to 5 months at best before this thing really starts taking off. And one of the things that you got to do, and also let me just go ahead and put this on here. Make sure you guys go to Savage Finance. I got a serious video how to invest $1,000 that popped up today. So be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification, and check that out. King Nick, because here's the thing. We are like on the precipice of this thing because I was doing some research on Argentina. And if you don't know, Argentina's economy collapsed. They had inflation. The peso was worth nothing. And Argentina is still in the economic, they rebounded, but they're now back in another problem. See, here's the issue. Once again, if you are not out here trying to contribute to the economy and become a producer, and you're just a consumer, that's going to bite you in the butt. So let's talk about what can one do to weather this recession. Number one, I've spoken about it and I brought it up many times. Get out of debt. I hope you're not out here like Omni and the Hellcat buying the Hellcat and walking around with a $1,500 car note. Let's look at industries that are about to start booming. The repo man is about to be busy. Car auctions are like, if you want a Hellcat, wait a few months. You could pick one up at auction for cheap. Because typically, when they repossess your car, they run it through an auction and then they come after you for the difference because the car usually goes so cheap. Elder Williams will sell cars at Infinity to people scared to come into the dealership to purchase the cars. It's only the beginning. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know the world's on sale. Brandon Tyson, you're going to have to tighten up, bro. You're going to have to tighten up. GW Properties, let's talk about investing. Do you currently have debt? Do you have a car payment? Do you have credit card payments? Do you have student loan payments? If you have debt, you cannot become an investor. It just doesn't work. The math's against you. Blind and Buddha, they cleaning out these stores. I will have to check that. Pawn shops will be flooded. So what we're going to see is a slow unraveling of the economy. Now, if you are a knowledge worker, you build websites, you're a coder, you're doing Fiverr gigs, you're doing Uber Eats, you're doing deliveries, because I was really surprised that this restaurant was like half empty on a Saturday night. I was able to go in and get my food. Normally, you have to wait. So as this stuff continues and people starts getting scared and people are not going out and people are staying in, this thing is just going to keep ramping up and ramping up because we have a consumer based economy. And essentially, our economy runs on people spending money. And right now, people are starting to hold on to their money. They're starting to stay home. They're not going to events. They're not traveling. So it's going to be a very interesting thing. Pretty much. You're doing DoorDash? Wow. So, I got this text from my housekeeper. They're going to clean the doors and all this other stuff. Typically, I'm not really worried about because I don't really come in contact with a lot of people and I don't go out to a lot of events. In the last event I went to, I ended up catching a cold. Funny. Paul Brown, this is one of the reasons I was talking about recession talk 2 years ago. And a lot of people said I was crazy. The stock market was at an all-time high. Unemployment is going to go up because I want you to think about this. Schools have closed. Schools across the country are closing. Colleges across the country have closing. Think about bus drivers. Are these bus drivers for these schools going to get paid? Are the people who run the concession stands, are lunchroom workers going to get paid? Each time a school system closes, there are numerous people who are there to, the bus drivers, the lunch workers, the admin staff. Are they going to get paid? You got to understand that most of America cannot miss 4 or 5 paychecks. Remember when the government shut down and literally people were freaking out at the 3rd week mark, they weren't getting paid. They were freaking out. Most of America cannot go many months without a paycheck. This is facts. And we're about to start seeing the massive ramp up of layoffs. Bobby Yick, you're funny. They can't miss one paycheck. I don't think we're gonna have a war. I don't think we're gonna have a war. But what we are gonna have is we're gonna have an economic collapse because, like, I'm just kind of rolling around my neighborhood and I'm just seeing the economic activity is slowing down across the board. That's a problem. That's a big problem. Paul Brown, I'm glad you listened. I'm glad you're listening because here's where we are. Now, I was going to get into real estate. I was going to do the Airbnb. I was going to actually go out and negotiate a lease with somebody and do Airbnb in the apartment or something. And I decided not to do it because I was coming out of my lane. I was like, this ain't your business. This ain't what and you really, I'm not really passionate about Airbnb. And one of the things that I warn you guys against is just getting in something for the money. 89 Dr. Funk, I think it's going to be worse than 89 recession because it's going to be more impactful. The recession was driven by real estate. This is being driven by the lack of economic activity. This is deeper. This is hitting the economic engines. This is hitting us in the pockets. Make sure y'all be checking out. Well, home building, like the real estate market is, reality is going to catch up with the real estate market. I was dealing with this girl who had 5 rental properties and she'd only been investing in real estate for 5 years. And her first property, which she got for like $165,000, it was now valued at $200K. So real estate is going to take a hit, not like the hit that it took. I remember where I used to live, there was this house and it went for sale for $256,000. That house now is $600,000. That's how big of a hit it took. I don't think we're going to have that. T-Tone Fitness, you're going to see a lot of people get laid off. You're going to see a lot of that. Thanks, Wayman Brown, for the $2 super chat. Adonis, I just read now, Trump made an executive order. Well, here's the thing. Starting in the late 70s, we started to outsource our manufacturing. This is what killed the American middle class. Like my Uncle Martin, he left LA, Lower Alabama. He moved to Detroit, Michigan. He was able to get on at GM, a job that he held for almost 40 years. He was able to buy a house. He was able to marry my Aunt Lillian. They had 5 kids, sent them all to college. And this dude didn't even graduate high school. That is how strong the American manufacturing sector was. Detroit in the 50s was the second largest economy in the world behind the United States. That's how booming Detroit, Michigan was. If you just do some research on Detroit, the amount of wealth that was in Detroit was staggering. Ford, GM, Pontiac. And Somebody got real slick and said, look, if we send our manufacturing bases to these countries instead of paying someone 22.50 an hour plus benefits and retirement plan, we could go over here and have the same item manufactured for $5 an hour and no retirement plans. So our profits are going to be exponentially higher. And this took flight because I don't have my phone, but I think most Apple products are manufactured in China. There's a reason. And China's getting more expensive. So they're shifting it to India, Vietnam, the Philippines. And at some point, there's not going to be anywhere to really go in the world that's going to have the raw materials and the ability to manufacture this stuff. Well, Paul Brown, a lot of people are still not prepared. Left loosely, currently 9% of U.S. antibiotics is made in China, pretty much. Superstar Customs, the virus is killing the physically weak and the financially weak, pretty much. Kevin, what ways you see consumer spending change? People. It's gonna. There's been a pullback. There's been a pullback in consumer spending. The NBA and March Madness and the canceling of all those games. I want you to think of all the people who supported the games, the people who sold the tickets, the people who collected the tickets, the people who stood at the gates, the people who served the concessions. All these folks don't have a job now. This is a lot of people. Goddess, no, that's my point. You can't change the game in the ninth unit. Pretty much. I don't know about that, Bobby. There was a talk of giving each American $1,000 to get the economy going. This whole thing is surreal to me. It is strange. Rules for Rebel, it's kind of like a middle ground. Just hit the dollar sign below. Malik Vanderpool, that's an interesting concept. That's a very interesting concept. United Center Blackhawks and Bulls are paying hourly employees the rest of the season. Oh, okay. Adonis, a lot of people were already moving toward minimalism. Yet Bezos is asking wage employees to donate sick time. That's funny. Thank you, Bob Brown, for the $10 super chat. Glendon, I appreciate your content because it has opened my eyes and my way of thinking and doing things. Yep, Bobby, I talked about that yesterday. There gonna be some folks who are gonna clown. This is a crazy, crazy thing because I'm still going to go out and do things. I'm not hoarding toilet paper and all this other stuff. I'm actually waiting on some things to come. But what you're going to see is an economic slowdown across the board because once people start holding on to their money, the economy, the recession's on. The recession's on. 89, Dr. Funk. The only way companies are going to come back to the United States and begin manufacturing is if it becomes cost effective to do so here. That's the only way they're coming back. As long as you could go to Vietnam, China, India, South America, and get the same item manufactured for far less because of the wages are less, they ain't coming back. They're not coming back. Makes no sense for them to come back. Adonis, who would this affect men more, men or women in the recession? It's going to affect both of them pretty heavily because what to be looking for in the next few months is layoffs and economic activity and people spending. Because, like I said, if you have an internet business, if you're making money online, your business is going to boom. Your business is going to go bananas. Your business is going to be crazy, cray, cray. Admit, Shemaz, funny. I mean, here we go. Because, like, this is going to be a global recession because, like, take Germany, which is the manufacturing concern of Europe. Germany has BMW, Mercedes Benz, Audi, Porsche, Volkswagen. Germany is like Detroit used to be. Because this is one of the things that, because German, because essentially you want to be a producer during this recession. I know it's going to sound crazy because someone asked me the other day, it's like, hey, during a recession, why start a business? Because you will have way less competition. Why do you want to advertise? Because your advertising is going to be cheaper. Like I said, I showed you the guys the other day. Everything on Airbnb is on sale. Everything. Rules for rebels, businesses that sell useful stuff will boom. These 35 print on demand t-shirts will likely suffer. Um, I was never a big fan of the print on demand business model because it's not real business. Teen Tone Fitness is even more cost effective having virtual assistants overseas. Pretty much. Bush still owes you. Yeah, you're going to have to keep advertising. You're going to have to grow. You're going to have to push. You're going to have to um, start getting things in order because here's the thing. Wells Fargo, which is one of the largest banks in the world, grew during the Great Depression because they were able to get these defunct thrifts and savings, and they grew their business. They grew their branches. Because see, the recession. I mean, it's a slowdown. It's not going to stop. It's you're going to see as Rules for Rebels said, businesses that do things that people need, that do things that people have to have, they're going to do well. They're going to do amazingly well. Scott Blevin, this is one of the things that you've got to really really pay attention to. Like, all right, let's go ahead and talk about Amazon business model PLD. Let's talk about the guy that has all the sanitizer. I've said this and I'm going to say it again. Amazon FBA is not a true business. You want to know why? Because your customer is Amazon. That's who your customer is. And it like this whole thing of example of going out and buying stuff super cheap, putting it online and trying to flip it for a profit. That's that's like a little game. If you're building a business, you're going to build a customer base. You're going to build a brand. And this is why Shopify drop shipping is such a scheme because I'm quite sure there are some people who are drop shipping like Warby Parker who are building a brand, who are making money, but a great many of these people are just out trying to make quick money. They're not building real businesses. Rules for rebels. Some Airbnb hosts wait about 2 months. And a lot of these people who are over leveraged with these houses, because you're going to start seeing people unload real estate. Because one of the things, like with the Airbnb, cities started to put laws in place because, like, cities where housing was already scarce, like San Francisco, Los Angeles, they started putting these new laws in place for Airbnb. And a lot of these people are going about to start selling these property because essentially investors were buying up cheap, affordable housing and turning it into an Airbnb, therefore make taking it out of the ability of the average person to get the property. T-Tone Fitness, thanks for the $10 super chat. So, let's just go ahead and discuss the Amazon FBA business model. Amazon FBA business model is pretty much you go to Amazon, you check out the sales rank of an item. If it's got a good sales rank, you buy the item. This to me, and you can go on this channel and you can look up no eBay, no Amazon. How many times that I've said that Amazon FBA was not a real business. I have a lot of people who were Amazon FBA people, and a lot of them are freaking out. One of these guys, his account just got compromised, and he is freaking out because essentially Amazon FBA allowed average people to earn extraordinary incomes for doing much of nothing. One of the things, because I can always tell if someone's doing Amazon FBA on my Facebook page, they have a lot of time to be on Facebook. Once you find the right products and send them into Amazon FBA, you don't really have to do much work. You really don't have to do much work. And then this is why they're so easily exposed, and they're so dangerous because once again, I used to get into fights with these Amazon FBA people, and I predicted, go to my YouTube channel, go to the front and look up no eBay, no Amazon, and I have videos that are 4 and 5 years old that I talked about what was to come, and it's here. You want to start a real business where the customers are your customers. When someone goes to Hustlers Kung Fu or B School for Hustlers or Disruptive Mail and buys an online course, I get their email address. I get their payment information. They're my customer, not Amazon's. When someone buys something from Amazon, they don't even know who they bought it from. They look for the product and all it's like, I got it off Amazon. They don't know your store number. They don't know your brand. They don't know. And many of these Amazon FBA sellers only sell on Amazon. They don't have their own website. They don't have their own SEO. They don't have none of this stuff. And it's going to catch up with them. Johnny Walden, Shopify. Let's have the Shopify conversation because a lot of people are going to try to start Shopify drop shipping. To me, Shopify drop shipping is not a real business model because what you're trying to do is source something super cheap from China, run Facebook ads to your store, and Facebook ads are constantly changing. So you can run some Facebook ads to your store for a few months and they'll work real well. Then they'll stop working. And then, you can do influencer shout outs, and influencers are crazy expensive. Oh man, it's about to happen, man. We're already at a cashless society. Everyone uses a credit card or a debit card. We're already at a cashless society. I don't see digital currency taking over no time soon. Rules for rebels. Just because you can make some money doesn't make it a real business or sustainable. Plus, Amazon's ultimate plan is to get rid of the middleman. Pretty much. I mean, when, years ago, when I noticed that Amazon was taking the data from its third part sellers and using that to like, hey, let me go out and buy this product and then sell it and then give itself the buy box, they were knocking people out the frame. I was like, years ago when I was selling office furniture, if an office furniture distributor tried to do that, people would have stopped using that distributor. But more people just, hey, it's just Amazon. I ain't afraid to compete with Amazon. Okay. Very unlikely. If you don't own your own branded items and just do arbitrage with FBA, you're just another person digging through the junkyard. I've sold an FBA in the time involved as anything but passive. Cynthia Joy, it's more than 3 weeks now. Raw for real estate, because see, Walmart's got supply chain issues. Ed Dowling, leave your money in the stock market. Don't pull out. Don't panic sell. Hollywood Prep, I'm starting the YouTube course tomorrow. So, here's the thing with YouTube. It's going to take you a month or a year before your channel really takes off. A few months. Hack your life. Will the used car market do well? Pretty much. Jody Breeze, all these things put into help pay with mortgage utilities, such, but not helping men and women on child support, but have businesses and side hustles. It's about to get very real. Folks be believing that Amazon's their business, get surprised when it disappears. Like this guy with all the hand sanitizer. He went out to all the dollar stores. He bought all the hand sanitizer. Then he was going to run it on Amazon FBA and sell his stuff for exorbitant prices. That ain't a real sustainable business model. That's not a business model. And now, Dr. Funk, people are going to conserve. Yep, Rod, for real estate, it is. The time to make money is now. Because essentially, with Shopify, print on demand, Amazon FBA, these are not real businesses. There are ways that you can make money. They can be hobbies. Because with a real business, you're going to advertise your company and you're going to go out and get your customers. Like merch by Amazon. I think Chris Green made well over $1 million selling that course. And here's the thing. I want you to know this in your life. When you go to the store, I got a 65-inch television that I bought 2016. I think it cost me $1,800. I can get a 75-inch television for $1,000 now. Things that you don't need are plummeting in price. But and except for gas is very cheap right now. Gas is crazy cheap. So we've got that going on. Um, One of the things that's happening is you're going to see things that you need, like food, the price is going to go up, medicine, the price is going to go up. But the things you don't need, the price is just going to plummet. Pretty much, Michelle, pretty much. Jacob, I was watching Savage Finance and it made me want to sell all my stock and pay off my credit card debt. Wow, man. Kevin, if he had his own site, he would have made mad traffic to the site and made money. I know, Malik. It's kind of crazy. Well, one of the things, there's something called opportunists, and this is something else you could look at, like the hand sanitizer guy. He's just an opportunist. He's not a wise businessman because it's like, he got stuck. Because here's the thing: if as someone said, if he had his own website and he developed his own customer base and traffic, he would have been good to go. But see, he was trying to gouge people using the Amazon website, and Amazon was like, We're not having that." So they cut him off, and now he's stuck with all this hand sanitizer. And unless he once again, he has no connections, he's not networked, he has no one he can sell his hand sanitizer to. It's just sitting in his garage. And while people are out like looking for hand sanitizer, they can't find it because he hoarded it. Well, you're going to see, because in the coming weeks, I want you guys to be looking at businesses in your area, because all of this matters to the economy. All of this matters because, once again, like, let's say all of the stuff that's at the ports, because the there are ships and ports in Savannah, there are ships and ports in Charleston, South Carolina. There's a lot of them goods and stuff out there. But here's the thing: once people start closing their wallets and only buying what they need to buy, this economy is going to slow down. And that's what we're having. Like the NBA you don't need an NBA game. It's something you want to do. So discretionary spending is already starting to crank down. Well, once again, this whole thing about taking all your cash out the bank, we're not there yet. There's not going to be a run on banks just yet, because I don't think we're going to get to that point, because essentially we're not in a state of Argentina. Like what happened to Argentina, there was a run on banks. Banks didn't have cash. Argentina had massive inflation. So once again, well, Erica, his goal was to flip it on Amazon, and Amazon shut him down. That's what, because he's got like $17,000 worth of hand sanitizer sitting in his garage. I mean, it's funny. Well, Black Caesar, Trump right now is a little freaked out. Trump's a little freaked out. Trump put out that he's thinking about replacing the chairman of the Fed, because he doesn't think that the Fed, because see, here's the issue with Trump. The economy is melting down. And this is the only thing that Trump has been boasting about, like, hey, the stock, all of the gains that have happened during the Trump administration are gone. All the gains in the stock market have been eradicated. They're gone. They're gone. So everything that he's been like, and history is a witness. We have never had a president reelected when the economy went bad. And he knows this. He knows this. So, unless these Trump people, because it's a weird situation, because some people, it's like they like Trump because he's reckless and he says stuff and he's petty. Trump is really petty. And they like this. And, it would be crazy to keep this guy in office. But once again, we will see because there actually one state actually postponed their elections. So that was interesting. Charlatan question, knowing what you know now, what would you do with the hand sanitizer? If I was foolish enough to go out and buy all this hand sanitizer, I would have ads on Craigslist. I will have ads on OfferUp. I will have ads on Facebook Marketplace. I would be selling that stuff out my garage because I know people are looking for it. I mean, once again, this guy is not a true hustler. He's not a business. This is Amazon FBA makes you lazy. I'm just gonna find something and put it on Amazon, and I don't have to worry about shipping. I don't have to worry about shipping rates. I don't have to worry about storing it. Just ship it off to Amazon FBA. And a lot of these people are now starting to feel the pain because Amazon FBA is canceling accounts left and right. They're shutting down sellers for everything because, as Rules for Rebels said, there goes to cut out the middleman. They don't want to share this money with you. They'll use you. You're being pimped. You're being put on the host roll as an Amazon FBA seller. I did sell off all my stocks after watching Savage Finance. Wow, Sierra Holly, that's different. Lower days, people need to start focusing on building a brand in their own businesses. They have any advice on marketing to get new clients? Do you think that Craigslist is still very valuable? Buy Everclear, that's funny. If he was a true hustler, he would have already had a website. Once again, this Amazon FBA thing makes people lazy because, essentially you got to be able, because right now I'm about to have a website built for Savage Finance. And let's talk about this. If you're investing while you have debt, you're not getting ahead. There's a video. I want everyone to go ahead to Savage Finance and watch it. If you have, if you're the average American, you have a $550 car note, and you just got that car. Guess what? $520 of that car payment is going towards interest. You've got a credit card payment. You just ran up your credit cards. Most of that money's going toward interest. You've got student loans. You're early in your payoffs. Most of that money's going toward interest. So you could be paying $10,000 to $12,000 a year in interest. Then over here, you have your equities and your investments making you like $120 a year, but you're losing $10,000, $12,000 over here because of the interest. That makes no sense. You can't be an investor when you got debt. I've been screaming, I've been pushing, I've been bullying, I've been talking smack. Get out of debt. Because here's the thing. If you got cash money during this recession, your money's going to go 3 to 10 times as far. If you got $20,000 to $30,000 cash, that might as well be $1 million during this recession because people will not have cash. You will be able to Make all kinds of deals because people are going to need money. People will need money. This is what I've been saying. The 5 checking accounts. You got to start segmenting your income. You got to start saving money. You got to start putting money away. And you literally have 4 to 5 months to do that right now because it's upon us. The mechanics, all of the things, the ingredients for the recession, they're in the pot. The pot, just stirring the pot right now. We're having a recession. We're having a recession. There ain't no, well, we're going to dodge this. We're having a coronavirus, reduced supply, uh, oil war with China, with Russia and Saudi. We're having a recession. And with this recession, many bad things are going to happen. Now, if you're prepared, if you don't have any debt and you got cash, everything about to be on sale. People will be on sale. Cars will be on sale. Hotels will be airlines, airline tickets. Airline tickets are already a third of their normal pricing because planes are half empty because people aren't traveling. What are ways to market to get new clients in this internet business? Content advertise, content marketing. You got to put out content. That's how you get new clients. Pretty much, Fred pretty much. Thanks, Lord Ace. The early hustler kung fu videos are great for learning how to get an extra 15 to 200 a month. See, Bill, pretty much. Black Caesar, get that car paid off. Get you a hoopty. Sell that bad boy. Hard breakdown. I don't they may pause mortgages. They may pause. They're not going to do because see, here's the thing. If they were to do this quote mass forgiveness, that means people would lose trillions of dollars. These companies can't do that. They're not going to happen. They may go ahead and postpone it and give you a break, but they're not going to. No. Eric Williams, buying businesses right now with 20 cash right now. Business owners who are living on credit, and it's a wrap. This is, once again, I want you all to go to Savage Finance because one of the things that I've been preaching and I've been living, and this is the truth. When you manage you're going to manage your money, your money's going to manage you. And if your money's managing you during this recession, you are in trouble. I remember this unit that I bought years ago. This guy was a business owner. He had good cash flow, but his spending was out of control. He had a sugar baby. Oh, sugar baby's about to be on sale. These chicks who think that they're gonna get like $2,000-3,000 to see you once a week, ha, ain't happening. Ain't happening. My car note's 1,300. What you driving, the mod? Fire sale summer's coming, pretty much. Flying my class and first class round trip for $200 a piece is wild. Everything's the sales are beginning. Sierra Holly, people are on sale. People will be on sale. Malik, I saw a video on Twitter with someone who works at an airport. No one's traveling on these planes. Pretty much. I mean, if you think about it, a plane is the last thing you want to be on during the coronavirus because that's just the perfect incubator. It's recycled air. How to get an 800 credit score LLC. How will credit repair companies be affected? People going to need money any way they can get it. Credit repair companies are going to boom. But check this out. This has already started. Chase, American Express, and Discover have started canceling people's credit cards and doing financial reviews. They learned from the last recession. Once again, there's all of these big companies have what's called predictive software. They could tell by your spending patterns if you about to be in trouble, and they're going to cut you off before you could charge up your whole credit line. I mean, like Target has this software that based upon what you buy, they could predict if a woman's going to be pregnant based on what she's buying before she gets pregnant. Let me say that again. Target has software that can predict if a woman's going to get pregnant before she gets pregnant. These banks have predictive software. So this whole thing, once again, get out of debt, start your side business, get your cash money up. Black purses is pretty much pumping numbers. Once again, go ahead, get them. JB Well, thanks for a $50 super chat. I welcome the recession. It's healthy in the free market. That's where victory meets preparation. Also, this will force China to the table after a crisis that they realized companies do not want to diversify their supply chains. Companies are leaving China left and right now. Pretty much. Pretty much. Las Vegas has several casinos shut down. Hey, it's starting. Most of these chicks gonna shack up with folks. Pretty much the price of trim is at an all-time low. If you a man, you got your own place, you got your own car, you have no debt, you ain't even gotta be rich. You just got an extra room, you can get you a sugar baby. Like you will start seeing places to stay on Craigslist. You'll start seeing that. Johnny Walton, hopefully you get back in the game. Sugar babies, 2 for $1, pretty much. No, if I was going to do that recession survival, that would be over here. Victor Felix, they're not coming back to America. It's still too expensive to create a manufacturing company in America unless Trump, let's say Trump gets his second term and then they start getting rid of all of these laws that you need to hire an employee to set up a company. Yeah, then manufacturing will come back. Mexico is about to blow up. Over, see over. Thanks for $5 super chat. Man, ain't nobody flying anywhere when the ground flights. Erica, my family taking them vitamins, getting on those planes. Hollywood Prep, they're already online, man. Mike Ellie, a lot of things they're not talking about is all these companies with corporate debt. That's another thing that's dragging down. Dan Blake, anything that's online is going to boom. Troy Glover, the MIG toys. Let's see. No, Angel, don't close your credit cards. That would be dumb. Pretty much, Engineer Canvas. Kevin, pretty much. Keyboard disc. Women are becoming very cooperative, man. I'm wondering what the predictors are. This is big data. Big data is going to kick in hard during this recession. Pretty much. Erica, marriage venues booked out for a year in Austin, Texas. These lessons now getting these rings. Broke Dick Dan's about to win. Hoes are on sale. Dave Bourne, Mexico's going to boom. South America's going to boom. I think anyone who is serving people who are stuck at home, pizza delivery is going to be rocking. DoorDash is going to be rocking. Uber Eats is going to be rocking because people are afraid to go out. Anybody that's servicing stuff at home, entertainment's about to be rocking out. If you buy lingerie and lube, then 9 months later you're gonna need Pampers. That's funny. Architecture Whisper. I think home remodeling and renovation business is about to take a hit. You know, if you are an investor with cash, you're gonna be able to clean up. Andrew, we all have bills and responsibilities to tend to. My job's already reducing hours to sending employees home early for lack of customers. Man, start your own business, man. Hollywood prep. I mean, once again, we've got so many things that are going on out here. We got so many things, but the recession is on lock, and it might be a depression because right now China is starting to gear back up. But just like the Robinhood app crashed during two of the most critical days in years on the stock market, and a lot of people are like, "I'm not using that app anymore. I'm out." And the same thing with a lot of people in China. A lot of people are like, "Hey, I'm not manufacturing in China. You already had this trade war that didn't help, so they're getting ready to bounce." Pretty much, Prepper Channel is about to blow up. The funny thing about some women being more crafty, MGTOW and excessive rail bill talk is going to die down a lot. Can't be mad when women are throwing it at you. People gonna be buying weed. People gonna be buying alcohol. People gonna be consuming porn. You know, if you ever want to be a cam girl, this is the time to go ahead and hook up the camera and start doing your thing. We're in a very interesting and strange place right now. We've got so many things that are happening in terms of the country, and we have so many things happening in terms of the economy. But you know, check out Savage Finance. Check out that video I did today about investing, because this is one of the issues I have with a lot of personal finance channels. It's like, hey, where to put $1,000? Invest your $1,000. If you have 1,100, 1,500, 1,600, $2,000 a month of debt, you stupid trying to be investing before you clean up that debt, because here's how the math works against you. Let's say you've got the typical $1,100 worth of debt that the American has between car payments, credit card payments, and student loan payments. That could be $10,000 in interest that's poof gone per year. So what if you made $1,000 on your investment? You lost $10,000 over here. Your math works against you. Oh man, that's the whole point of Savage Finance, is to give you personal finance information that your mom and dad never had. Because once again, you know, I see all these personal finance channels and the videos below up. It's like, hey, where to put $1,000? But no one is saying, hey, do you have debt? Do you have all this other stuff? No, 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 no. You don't need to be an investor. Be sure to check that video out. Ben, the bartender, many of these MGTOW and red pill men are feminine men. That's why they complain, and that's why they all up in their feelings, like Kiki, all up in their feelings. Key feels they're gonna be buying that alcohol. People gonna be getting drunk. People gonna be playing video games are about to explode. Video game sales are about to explode. People at home, nothing to do. YouTube about to explode. Facebook about to explode. Instagram about to explode. The people who are already there with their pages and stuff and position, they about to make some money, because there is rumor that, you know, you may have to be locked down in America for 8 weeks. I don't think that's going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen, but it could happen. Lyft is paying me big bonuses right now. A lot of people selling their cars since they ain't driving. Because essentially, this is the time to start your business, start your service. I know that sounds crazy, but start putting yourself out there. Like, I'm going to have a website built for Savage Finance because I've got all these ideals and stuff. And I'm about to get into starting your businesses, because essentially, if you want to make money online, you've got to do content marketing or buy traffic. That's it. Either you're going to spend money for your traffic or you're going to do content marketing. All right, hold on a second. All right. Thank you, Architecture Whisper, for the $5 super chat. Be sure to check out the video at Savage Finance. But right now, a lot of things are about to start taking off in terms of, like, and even your local businesses. Like, people are afraid for coronavirus. Dog walking is about to explode. Now, I don't know how the cuddle business is going to do. Like, this is something that I talked about when I created the course 30 days to 2500, the cuddle business. And once again, one of the things that happened was because this has become a real business, cuddling, because people don't have social skills, don't know how to connect with people. So they need some stranger to come over there and wrap their arms around them. DC Appliance Repair, thanks for the $5 super chat. Ollie Bob, I understand that you're a punk if you're a mid-toe. If you're mid-toe, you've given up on life. If you're mid-toe, you stopped finding solutions. I understand that mid-toe's a bunch of whining, crying babies that like over here, someone said, I remember someone was talking about, I and Erica are creating videos about making money, but these MGTOW live streams, which have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 people, are over here hoping women hit the wall so they can get some of that peace leave. Once again, as a man, I solve my sexual problems, my companionship problems, and then I go online and complain and whine about female nature. If you were really understood the game and knew how female nature worked, you would be building a business. You would be getting your money together. You would become a provider, a protector, a dominant masculine man. You would not be sitting there like, "Ooh, she won't give me no peace leave. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ah!" Most MGTOW and red pill men cry and whine. That's what I understand about it. Ben the bartender. I started selling guitar and other music gear that's been collecting dust for years just because I'm in though. Hey, get rid of it. Hollywood prep. Real got a Craigslist Lexus 2600, a month away from being debt free, recession ready. All right, Romel. I mean, once again, we've got so many things going on. Aces 12351. I agree 100%. I agree 100% because essentially what you're going to see is a lot of men, hobosexuals are going to be shacking up with women who are out here getting it. Erica, you better watch out. Those hobosexuals going to be coming for you. Those hobosexuals, they're going to be looking for sugar mummies because essentially what this recession is going to expose is the financially weak. It's going to expose them like you won't believe. Homelessness is going to increase. Layoffs are going to increase. You're going to start seeing females adjusting their behavior because I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You can suck on that old man's peace leave, or you can go hungry. What are you going to do? A lot of chicks going to be sucking on that peace leave. They're going to be sucking on that peace leave. Pretty much, Agent J Pool. Superstar custom. That's funny. Levi Reed, that would be really hard. Pretty much, Cynthia. The recession is going to separate the men from the boys. You've got a whole bunch of stuff out here. You got a whole bunch of stuff out here. So what I want you guys to do is to go to Savage Finance, check out this video. There's more stuff that's coming, and I've got more videos. It's essentially the whole principle of Savage Finance. Because once you subscribe, I want you guys to watch all of the videos because I'm going to give you real personal finance information based upon from the standpoint of someone who doesn't have personal debt, who's got money in the bank, and has a business that provides cash flow every month. Because a lot of people just don't want to work, but essentially, this recession is about to expose a lot of stuff. Hollywood prep, man, get in line with that. MGTOW, I mean, it's a bunch of whiners. You're whining about female nature. You could take, and also here's something else. My boy Alan Roger Curry did this. One of the big problems with MGTOW is there's like 8 or 9 different concepts for it. You guys can't even get together and define what MGTOW is. MGTOW is to me a waste of time. I'm out here about creating solutions, solving problems, and making money, not being online complaining about women's behavior. Sorry, miss me with that. All right. So once again, you guys go ahead and check out Savage Finance. And I will see you guys later. I got a lot of stuff to do today. So have a good one.